Hey, it's another edition of Unbreakable the podcast. Saturday, September 20th. Listen, whoa, back down, go to the steady at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. Tom Petty, a lot of times in life, we're going through a lot of shit right now, with free speech, Don't back down. I love this song because don't back down ever. High ground, anything in life. Somebody's giving you some shit, don't back down. Hey, baby. They play this song at the Eagles games, especially when the Eagles are behind and they're just scored a touchdown. Hey, and the crowd will go, hey, baby. And I won't back that low. I saw Tom Petty in the early 90s. I went to a concert at the Spectrum. Remember the Spectrum in Philly? Went to a great place for concerts. The acoustics were great, but it sucked for people like me in a wheelchair because you were in the back and you couldn't see when people stood up. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. But the Spectrum was great for concerts. You were close up, the acoustics were great. And so me and my brother, we went to see Tom Petty. It was early 90s because it was around the time when his Full Moon Fever album came out. Great album. It had this song, it had Running Down the Dream, Free Falling, it had so many great songs. Great album. I remember Tom Petty. The stage was set up. It looked like an Arabian kind of a thing, where like flying carpet and stuff. There was incense coming out from the stage. Kind of the wacky weed, was sort of like wafting through the crowd. Hey, baby, was sort of wafting through the crowd. Wacky weed smell. And Tom Petty was just great. He was great. And one thing I regret, so I regret some things in life, that I didn't become a bigger fan of his sooner. Listen, won't back down. I should have been a fan sooner because he's a rock and roll guy, and he's an American institution, Tom Petty. And I'm glad a lot of people are rediscovering him. But the one thing he did this, he did the songs, introducing, then he started talking a little. And I was really surprised because he went off on the people who were in the suites, these hoity-toity rich people. And he went off, he said, I can't remember what he exactly said, but something like, hey, I hope you're enjoying it up there in the suites, but they're all your $100 and these, blah, 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 blah. And he said to the peons like us in the crowd, he said, we're trying to keep the ticket prices down. Now, this early 90s, probably the price of a ticket was like $30 or something. Well, back then, that's a lot of money, but he said, we're trying to keep the ticket prices down for you guys. The corporate hot shots up there in the suites, they can all go to hell, blah, 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 So, but he was really good. He was great in concert, and I'm a big Tom Petty fan now. And I love that song. I won't back down, and don't you either. Don't back down. Anyway, today, September 20th, we're going to talk Eagles because the big game's tomorrow against the Rams. We're going to talk Phillies because they're out in Arizona kicking ass out there. And but I gotta mention a couple of things. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to that Italian bombshell herself, not potato, what the hell? Sophia Loren. Oh, mamma mia, what a, woo. Sophia Loren turns 92 years young today. 92 for the great Sophia Loren. Huh? Huh? I tell you what. I seen her, a picture of her, not too long ago. She's still a hot tomato there. She is. And but very glamorous, And she made a lot of these movies back in the 50s and 60s, where first of all, a lot of Italian films, like love Italian stuff, divorce Italian style, a lot of stuff like that. But then she came to America, made movies with like Cary Grant, and she was really good, and she's still around. God bless her, still around. So happy birthday to Sophia Loren. I know you're out there watching me. I was thinking about good-looking older women, and I'm talking about older women. When I was in my 20s, an older woman being like 40s, like, oh, it's good-looking. Oh, she's 40 years old. Now, you say older women are in their 90s, for God's sakes. Holy shit. And so, I was thinking, Julie Newmar, who would be my favorite lady, who's 90 in her 90s right now. Sophia Loren got me thinking about that. So now I'm thinking, Julie Newmar. Remember Julie Newmar? Big, tall brunette. She played Catwoman on the original Batman series. She had that long brown hair, slim fit. She wore that black outfit, Oh my God. Woo. Julie Newmar. I don't really know too much of other stuff she did. But she was around. And she's a good looking lady. And she still is. I saw a picture of her the other 91 years old. What's with these hot 90-year-olds, huh? Ay, ay, ay. 91 and still looks good. So there you go. It's not your birthday, Julie. You do more, but I had to mention you. I had to. So anyway, speaking of which, the great Robert Redford passed away this week, as we know. And we talked about him in one of the shows earlier this weekend. A lot of people, isn't it something when people die, other people kind of rediscover you? It's a shame it has to happen that way, But people are rediscovering Robert Redford, They're watching his movies. They're watching Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid again, or The Sting, or The Natural, or one of those movies. And they're saying, wow, a lot of like women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever, they say, he was a good looking guy. Well, duh, yes, he was. That was part of his appeal. He was a great actor. But you saw, dogs. But you saw Redford, and the first thing was, bingo, good looking. Yeah, the good looking meter would go up to 10, So, what the heck? So, it's funny because on social media, now you got some of these women who are 30, 40 years old who were just discovering Robert Redford because they're really too young they weren't around during his heyday, which was like 70s, 80s, So now they discovered Robert Redford is like the famous, the popular term now is smoke show. Did you ever hear that? Oh, he's a smoke show. She's a smoke show. Ooh, smoke show. So anyway, why I bring this up is people are discovering him and saying, ooh, what a smoke show he was. But there was a picture of Robert Redford's father online. He was holding Robert Redford. Robert Redford was only like less than a year old. This picture was taken like in 1936. and Robert Redford, the baby Robert Redford, was in this like striped swimming suit. You know, back in the day, they didn't have like bikinis, they didn't have like trunks. He wore like a full body suit. It was kind of weird. And that's what the kid was wearing. So little Robert Redford was wearing the day, and senior Robert Redford was holding him. And it was really surprising. If you look at this online, Robert Redford's father is a doppelganger for Robert Redford, the actor. They look so much alike. Oh my God, when I looked at the picture of the old man, I thought, no, that's Robert Redford. He's holding another baby. Wait a minute. But no, it was the father. And people online were saying, wow, Robert Redford's father was a smoke show too. Woo! Both the old man and the kid. So there you go, right? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's what they say. So hey, did you ever see this before we talk football? Did you ever see this commercial on TV? It's playing all over now. You get this guy, he's in like a three-piece suit, kind of a younger guy. And he's going there, he's this isn't it. This is a hand sanitizer thing that you used to get during the pandemic to keep the germs off of you. But I'm just going to use this as a prop. So he's got this thing here. You could spray it. He said, "Why look like this?" He's talking to men, like me. Why look like this? And you got this older guy with the wrinkly face and like the pout or the script, like this. Why look like this when you could look like this? And then they put a younger guy, same guy, but somehow they raked his wrinkles away or did something. Apparently, this thing that you spray on the face or something, it like takes the wrinkles away and like bumps and all kinds of stuff. So they got, why look like this when you can look like this? And they got the guy, he's all smiling there, and he's all, like happy. And I don't know whether it's real or not about the wrinkles, but then he goes on, why look like this? But you can look like this. It just cracks me up, it's sort of a newer commercial now, but I don't know. I don't even, it just cracks me up. Whatever. Okay, so let's talk some Eagles and Phillies. Let's talk Phillies first, okay? The Phillies are kicking ass in Arizona. They already wrapped up the division. They are division champs 2 years in a row. And if you bet on the Phillies before the season started, total wins, the line was 91.5, which means the Phillies have to win 92 games this season in order for you to win your bet to get paid. Well, guess what? Last night, the Phillies hit 92 wins. So if you put down a few bucks on the Phillies, like I did, congratulations, you got paid. But to me, it wasn't a hard bet because the Phillies going into the season, we figured we're going to be a good team. I mean, just because they choked like dogs in the playoffs last year doesn't mean they're not going to have a good season this year. So I thought, the Phillies are going to win over 91 games. They're going to do it. And they did. So now they are really, really hot. Got Harrison Bader, again, 3 hits last night, including a home run. What a guy. And they're saying, well, what happens when Trey Turner comes back? Harrison Bader, I guess, is going to hit 6 or something. No, why move the guy? The guy's great. Hit Trey Turner second behind Bader. And then that just extends the lineup. Then you could do your Kyle Schwarber, whatever, third, Bryce Harper fourth, and it extends the lineup. But I wouldn't move Harrison Bader. I would keep him right in the leadoff spot where he's doing good. Why move him down to like number 6 or 7 where he wasn't doing that good? You know, it's stupid. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks before Turner comes back. But I want the Phillies to win as many games as they can. Number 2 is because they're going for the best record in baseball and the National League. Milwaukee is like 2 games ahead of them. They can catch Milwaukee in the next week and a half, and then the Phillies would have home field advantage throughout all the freaking playoffs. And you could say if all the Phillies have to do is win their home games and they're world champs, well, very easy. So I would say don't stop Phillies. I know they want to give these boys some rest, and they should before the playoffs start, but keep on pushing, because if you can somehow overtake Milwaukee, your path is set to the World Series, you know? It goes through Philadelphia. So all these Beasley teams, Dodgers, Padres, Brewers, you know, even the Mets, God forbid. If they want to get to the World Series, they're going to have to go through Philly to do it. So keep winning there, Phillies. Alec Bohm is back. Had a big game last night. And the boys are really starting to hit, aren't they? Another game tonight in Arizona. And then after Sunday, the boys come home. And it'll be good to see them again. Final 6 games. Can you believe this? We're getting down to the nitty gritty. There's only 8 games left in the whole freaking season. 8 games. 2 away. And tomorrow's the last road game of the year, regular season. And then the boys have Miami coming in next week. It's not big deal. And the Twins to wrap up the season. Not a big deal there. So Phillies, hey, if they get close, what is it? What do they got? 10 games left? I'm not good at that. 10 games. 8 games. 8 games. I told you I wasn't good at that. 8 games left. Well, if they won all 8 games, they would finish with 100 wins. I don't know if they're going to do that, but they did get close to 100, so we'll see. All right. Now we got to talk about the Eagles. And this is a big game tomorrow because the Eagles are 2-0. Yes, see? Likes the Eagles. Eagles are 2-0. Come on in here. Come in here and say hello to the people. Get in here. There they are. Katie girl. All right, Kate. Where's Coco? Where is our Coco? Yes? Are you talking now? All right. Say hi to everybody. That's Katie girl. She did say hi to you. That is Katie girl herself. Yes, Katie girl. Yes. So, Steve, are you talking now? Are you talking? Isn't she cute? Just want to hug her. Eagles. Big game. Eagles 2-0. And not playing that great, but still winning. Playing at home tomorrow, 1:00 game, which I love. Playing the Los Angeles Rams, also 2-0. Rams have to travel across the country. Rams, 1:00 game is 10:00 in the morning to the Rams. They're still eating breakfast. It's going to be a big game because the Rams have revenge. They got beat 2 times by the Eagles last year. But I still think the Eagles are going to win. I mean, the Eagles are favored by 3.5 points. Now, will the Rams cover the spread? They could. I think it's going to be a close game. But the thing is, the Eagles haven't showed all the weapons yet because they have this new offensive coordinator who, I don't know, does he know what the hell he's doing? I don't know. They're not throwing the ball downfield. They're not getting the ball to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. They're just sort of like plodding along there. But they're winning, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a breakout game for the Eagles tomorrow. I think the Eagles are going to win. They're going to score 34 points at least. And the Eagles are going to win tomorrow 34-23, maybe something like that. So, we'll see what happens. It's Matthew Stafford, the quarterback of the Rams. He's like a statue back there. He doesn't run very much. He can't move very much. So if the Eagles get a lot of pressure on him, chances are they're going to get a few sacks more. But we'll see. My two bets tomorrow. Saquon Barkley tore up the Rams last year. 2 games. One game he rushed for 200 yards. Unbelievable. The other game he rushed for like 150. These Rams just can't stop him. I think Barkley goes. He hasn't had a big game yet this year. I think he's going to have a 100-yard game tomorrow, and he's going to lead the way. And don't forget, if the Eagles are ahead going into the fourth quarter, they're going to use Barkley a lot. They're going to run him to try to take some time off the clock. So, that's my prop bet. I like Saquon Barkley to go over his line. I forget what it is, 86.5 or something like that. I would take the over with Saquon Barkley. And the other bet I would have is, it's not the Eagles. There's another team out there. Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are favored by 5.5. And over the Carolina Panthers, who suck. They're playing in Carolina, but who cares? They could be playing on the moon, as far as I'm concerned. Atlanta's just a better team. They're explosive offensively, and defenses. They have a pretty good defense too. So I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to cover the line tomorrow. So those are my two picks: Atlanta and Saquon Barkley. There you have it. It should be a nice card to some interesting games coming up. And the Sunday night game, don't forget, Kansas City Chiefs in New York, the Big Apple, to play the Giants. Kansas City's favored by 6 points. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Giants are going to play their hearts out. It's a Sunday night game. They're on national TV. The game is in New York. They're playing the Chiefs, the almighty Chiefs. I think the Giants are going to keep it close anyway. The real question is, are we going to see Taylor Swift tomorrow? That's the real question. When the Chiefs played the Eagles last week, they didn't even talk about her once. They didn't even show her once. And the reason was because, well, first of all, the game was on Fox. So that tells you a lot right there. Anti-Taylor Swift. But, there were a lot of security since last week, There's stuff going on around the country. So we'll see if we see her tomorrow night. But I wouldn't be surprised that she'll be at MetLife Stadium tomorrow, MetLife, to watch her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, go up against the New York Giants. What a game that's going to be, huh? And then finally, to wrap up your football weekend, which I know your wife, your husband, whatever must love, you're going to see the Ravens Monday night playing at home, and they're going to be hosting the powerful Detroit Lions. The line should be like 108. I think these teams are going to score. And they're going to get a lot of points. In fact, that's what I would recommend that you take the over. I think the over is 51, I believe, or something like that. I'll take the over because there's a good chance both of these teams could score well into the 30s. The Ravens, first 2 games of the year, set a record. The only team in league history to score over 40 points in their first 2 games of the season. That's what they did. So, Ravens, Lions, Monday night to wrap up the weekend. Huh? All right. Well, everybody have a great day. Enjoy your Saturday. whatever you're doing. It's beautiful here in Pennsylvania again. High 70s, blue skies. You just can't ask for weather for the end of September. And it's true. Look, the next time I talk to you, it may be Monday because we'll review the Eagles game together. Monday will be the first day of fall. Can you believe it? Summer is winding down. Cranky. I hate to see summer go. I really do. Because, right over the hill, winter time. And I'm not a winter guy. I have to tell you right now. I'm not a winter guy. I come on the podcast and they're going to be really bitchy. No, I just don't like the cold and everything. I'd rather be a summertime guy. You just throw on a shirt, right? You hop in the car, off you go, right? And all this jacket shit and the earmuffs and the gloves and the scarves and all that. What the heck, right? Maybe if I had the money, I'd move to Australia during the winter because down under, it's springtime right now. So, but hey, we'll have our spring again. Hang in there, everybody. Hang in there. All right, enjoy it. Listen to some Tom Petty today, okay? Do yourself a favor and listen to Tom Petty. And don't back down. Everybody have a great day. Peace and love. And I'll talk to y'all probably Monday or Tuesday. Whatever. See you soon. Bye. Say goodbye, Katie. Bye, 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 bye.